Woo! What's up? What's up? What's up? Put the banner up. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. We're back again. Back again. How you feeling, folks? How you feeling? Ready to get this information? Ready to get this learning? I know that I've been doing more live streams than ever. Uh, Trying to catch up from the months I was in training and wasn't able to do it. In recent news, Ja Morant suspended 25 games without pay for reckless conduct. Ah, how old is Ja? Let's see how old he is. Second. 23 years old. 23 years old. This is one of those guys, I think. What's up, Donnie Mac? What's up, Little Rock? This is one of those times guys like him really need to listen to this live stream now. You should really, and I do mean really, heed the advice of men who came before you. And what happens is that shout out to F Holiday for the cash app. Salute, brother. Uh, there's certain things you got to do from the age of 16 to 25. And frankly, nobody ever tells you this. Nobody ever tells you this shit. One, take all that time when your testosterone is pumping, you got all that muscle. Learn a good, healthy routine. Work out, stick with it. Make it your character, make it your habit, make it a part of your being. You don't want to try to say, I want to get into fitness when you're older, your metabolism's slower, your testosterone drops. You don't want that. You wanted to get in good habits early. Good habits early. For some odd reason, we don't get into those conversations of developing young black men on a regular. On a regular. What's up? Concierge security. Hey, you gotta love that stuff, man. You want to get into a habit of discipline. Every successful man has not only a standard, but also timing. You want to get into a habit, you want to be robotic, but you want to be such a person that you're capable of making audibles. Things do happen in the real world. Things happen in the real world. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat. Share this with young men who probably need to hear it. You want to establish discipline. And the one thing you realize as a young black male, we're held to a certain expectation, but we're never taught discipline. I want you to think about that. We're held to high expectations, but we're never taught discipline. And I know that's a weird concept for a lot of people, but think about it. There's so many ladies who want to date a guy, and they expect him, especially at the age of 2021, to have property, cars, expendable wealth, when she doesn't even have it. If you don't have it at your age, what do you think the men, your counterparts on the male side, have? Probably even less. There's a reason why a lot of people are going to school and a lot of women are outpacing us, because guess what? A lot of them don't work. You have some women who work and go to college, but let's face it, a lot of them really don't work. And some who do go to college and go back, it's not really significant. So that being said, you got to develop discipline. You may not be able to go to the club. You may not be able to hang out with your friends. You may not even get the baddest bitch you're around. What you really should be doing is how to make yourself a better man. So when we talk about discipline, it's usually going to be defined as doing what needs to be done while nobody's looking or nobody's tasking you to do it. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are not going to be on your side. A lot of people are going to fear you. A lot of people are going to misconstrue you. A lot of people are going to call you lame and call you all kinds of shit. Okay. But what do you think about yourself? That's what I need to really beat into your head. What do you think about yourself? Because one, if you really have friends and your friends respect you and your dreams and your wishes, would that be so hard? See, a lot of times, especially in our community, we want to be cool, we want to be popular, but nobody looks down and say, "Hey, popularity only gets you but so far, only in high school, maybe sort of kind of if you even get to college." But from what I read, we have a 21% drop rate from 2020 to 2021 and black males going to college. So much for popularity. What really needs to be accomplished and stated is that fuck everybody else. See, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to really be about it. I love my friends to death, but, you know, I'm the only one of my friends who went to the military. Only like what? Besides the guys I met in the academy or the police department, only one of us went to the police. And I understand we all have our different ways of life. We all have our different paths. I'm not knocking them for it, not even close. But what you really need to do is strap down and focus on what's going to benefit you, what's going to make you smarter, what's going to make you hungrier. See, nobody's going to tell young men the truth. Nobody's going to set you up in a place of being the one with the advantage, of being the one who can actually benefit from his hard work. Because majority of the time, you're making other people rich. Majority of the time, you're doing stuff for service for others. So focus up on you. Focus. Get your ass and get some study in that. Now, here's another part. Because I hear a lot of this stuff about degrees and, well, you shouldn't get a degree, you should get a trade and all that other stuff. My professional opinion is do what you need to do. And a lot of you actually need to actually what's the word I'm looking for? You need a degree and a trade. You need both. You need both. A lot of people say, well, he doesn't need to go to college, he need a trade. Trades pay well, but this is the issue nobody ever talks about. And you notice in the black community, a lot of black moms promote trades over degrees for their sons, but they'll tell their daughter to go get a degree. Make that make sense? You're raised in the same household, make that make sense. Now, trades are cool. I know colleges are for everybody, cool. But in order to go up in the upper management, you're going to have to get that degree. If you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to have to get that degree. A doctor, you're going to have to get that degree. Upper echelon management, every alphabet law enforcement agency, guess what? You need a degree. I mean, nobody's ever going to tell you. Nobody's ever going to speak to you about that. But yes, in order for you to get to these jobs and levels, you're going to need a degree. I think it's funny when you hear a lot of ladies talk about, I can't find a man on my level, but you push your sons to be what? Subservient. You don't push your sons to be, hey, you need to be, you need to get a trade. As a matter of fact, majority of you will even say this: Why don't you just get a, why don't you just get a job at the local supermarket? You don't want to do the time of putting your child, especially your male children, in positions of authority and power. How many times have I said this on this channel? Raise your son like he's going to be somebody's father or husband. Sup, son? What's up? James Keel. Son is hot raw. Beautiful strummer. Also trying to avoid loser friends. Oh, we're not. No, stop kicking the chair. Wait till we get there, man. Wait till we get there. A lot of you are gonna have to. That's why I said you got to develop the discipline, because nobody. And I have to say this because I've said this to a lot of my wrestlers. High school does not prepare you for college. Very few high schools ever do. Nobody's going to call your parents. Nobody's going to chase you down to do a report. Nobody's going to give you any fucking extra credit. Nobody's going to give you any extra credit. Nobody gives a damn. Let's be serious. They'll take your money and they'll fail you. They'll cuss you out too if you got somebody who doesn't give a damn. Think about it. If half the degrees weren't so shitty, majority of people wouldn't even graduate. But a lot of times people don't graduate is because of discipline. We don't prepare them for these roles. You complain about men not leading, but how many times you let a man lead in your house? We'll stop there. Do you put your son in a position of authority? Do you put him in positions where he has to make a decision? Now, since we're on the friends, you are the sum total of the parts you hang around. If you're around friends that are stagnant, not doing anything for themselves, there are no achievements being made, then guess what? Success and failure is contagious. It rubs off on you. If you're with a bunch of knuckleheaded friends who fail, guess what you're going to end up being? By proxy, a failure. You want to be around a network of friends that you benefit each other. You can't be a slacker. You don't have the ability to say, "Hey, I got this age of adolescence and I'm going to use this while I'm young." No. No. What's up, Bucket? If you have friends going to college, military, or the workforce, and they're doing something with their lives, it's to you not to hinder them. To you being a good friend, you should not hinder them. If you're not a benefit, then what the hell are you? Here's another factoid: go travel and see the world. Go look at different cultures. Try your best not to be ethnocentristic in your thinking. And when you do travel via civilian or military, do not disrespect that culture. You wouldn't want someone to disrespect yours, would you? Don't be the typical American. Go out there and experience things for yourself. I already know that black women travel more than black men on abundance, but a lot of black men don't travel because they can't get passports or they don't know how to get them. But if you have the opportunity while you're 16 to 25, travel. Because in the black community, we have a bad habit of folks who haven't even been on the other side of their own cities. Go see the world. Go become a learned man. Become a worldly man. Be able to teach some people. Think of your experiences. How are you going to gain? And if you do travel, like, what's up, Damer? When in Rome, be like the Romans. Immerse yourself in that culture. See why the people are the way they are. Don't be a tourist, be a student. Nobody wants a fucking tourist to come disrespect their country. Be somebody who's a student willing to learn about it. The age of obsolescence in your thinking should be over by now. One of the biggest things when it comes to black men, especially young ones, you hug the block too much. You're afraid to get outside your normal conditions. Who the fuck wants to be average? Here's another one. Find a hobby. And no, smoking weed is not a hobby. No, no, no. It's recreational, but it's not a hobby. Have a hobby. I talked a little bit about this last night. Have a hobby. Have something that makes you learn how to take care of something, gain a skill, learn how to play chess, collect things. Get something that takes you away from your everyday work, something that takes you into a space where you don't have to worry about your wife, kids, your job, something that's for you. You need to develop things that will make you a better person. You need to develop things that are going to make you a better person and take the stress out of your life. I think that's one of the things that we don't really do anymore. Have something that takes away the stress, that gets you away from the stress. It can be gaming, it can be comic books. If you're going to smoke weed, just don't be flagrant with it. Yeah, I know the laws are lax, but you don't want to offend people with certain smells. How do I know I smoke cigars? You want to be in control of your vices, not them being in control of you. Another one you should also think about is sacrifice now, work hard now, so you can play later. Is that something that a lot of us are told? Not necessarily. Why not sacrifice now? While you're young, you have less responsibilities. You're going to have a lot more time ahead of you than behind you. Sacrifice now. Don't worry about that little girlfriend you had back home. She's going to be the same way you left her. In the words of my first sergeant of basic training, don't worry about the girlfriend you left back home. She's going to be the same way you left her, freshly fucked. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you my philosophy I learned from the years. You shouldn't have a serious relationship until you live in your own place, paying your own bills for at least 3 years. You should not. Really. People hate it when I say this about relationships. I'm like, should you date? Cool, sure. Anything serious when you don't have your goals? No. Work on your goals. Work on your goals. Especially the dating climate out here sucks for men in their 30s and 40s. I can imagine how it is 16 to 25. Get your goals together. Get your goals together. It goes back to what I said earlier about trying to be cool in school. That shit doesn't mean nothing in the real world when you're on your own. Cool points don't put food in your refrigerator, does it? Cool points don't put the lights on in your house, does it? The gas in your car, food in your stomach. How you going to take, you got to think about it. The adult male brain is a very complex creature, even more complex than the female. You're not fully developed until 27, 28. Why take on all that stress your brain can't handle? Why do it? Nobody wants to hear that. Think about that. So many people say, oh, you should settle down. Why? They're not trying to settle. They're going to go to school. Why don't you? Why don't you take a vested interest into your future? Why do things that are going to slow you down? Why? I'm not saying wait till you're an old man to start a family or get in a relationship, but establishing yourself for 3 years is a good barometer of seeing that you're capable of doing things on your own. Not only that, I'm seeing an influx of young men not getting their driver's license. Do you want to be mobile? It's not cool to be on the bus when it's cold. It's not cool to be on the bus when it's blazing heat. Do you know how many jobs that young black men can obtain if they had the ability and the mobility to drive themselves back and forth to work? It goes back into that discipline. Why are so many young men not getting their licenses like before? Is it fear? Is it laziness? I mean, somebody tell me. You can get jobs that are higher paying, maybe a little distance from you. You got to drive there. Maximizing your abilities. Well, this is up to my boy TD Game. If you like Madden, go to my man's channel, give him a salute, give him a cash app, a super chat. And I'm loving that Chris McAllister and Terrell Golden Tea and Terrell Suggs, man. Loving them. You got to think about this on a serious level. A driver's license is licensing. When you go to a lot of these places, they're looking at what type of certifications and licenses that you hold. A driver's license is one of them. Do you know? A lot of you guys who dream to be truck drivers, guess what? You don't have a driver's license, you can't be a truck driver. How many young men can go for the police department but don't have a fucking license? Easy. Within their city, within their goddamn city. Okay? I'm getting tired. And I mean, absolutely tired. Absolutely tired of seeing young men give me bullshit excuses when they could have plotted their life out much easier years ago. You fuck around in high school, chasing around a bunch of stank ass pussy that you're not even going to remember their name the day you walk across the stage. And that's for some of you, if you walk across the stage. And what does that get you? What does that get you? People like, oh, you speaking from a position of authority. Yes, I am. Been there, done that, motherfuckers. Been there, done that. There are some things I could have done sooner in my life, but then again, there's a lot of things I've done very early in my life. And Detroit 313 said, speaking facts, I had my license since 18 with no car, no driving experience till 20 years old. Went to truck driving school with no experience. I had my license at 16. I want you to realize this. Even with a bunch of young men that I'm training now and firearms security practices, private detection, and other things, at 18, 19, you should be trying to get as much certification and licensing under your belt as soon as possible. Nobody ever tells you how competitive the real world is, especially against young black men. Nobody ever tells you this shit. Nobody ever wants to mention this shit to you. Nobody ever tells you how competitive this real world is. I hear so many times of my friends who are black female, and they'll tell me, well, I'm a double minority. Imagine being a young 16 to 25-year-old black male, and people are scared to hire you. You can have everything on the list, and they're scared to hire you. Why is that? Shout out to the sister that BGS said that she put her son in parochial schools, high level schools, and he went to Princeton, and he's a MD, medical doctor. How many times in the black community have we done such a feat? See, I'm not even talking about the gynocracy. I know people come over here for the gynocracy, but y'all gonna have to pay your Charles Faulkner tax, man. Hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, my boys. Hit that. Support your media. Support your damn media, fellas. See, we have to look at the abundance of, are we setting our sons up for failure, or are we making them successful? Take advantage of community colleges that are giving certain certifications for free. Shout out to Detroit 313 with the $5 holla.
By the power of Grayskull.
Shout out to Detroit 313 for the $5 holla. Hey, don't let Detroit be the only one. Don't meet them, beat them. Everybody loves the mighty Battle Cat. But I want you to figure this out, young black men. You're not going to make the money you think you are going out to when you first start out in the working world. I'm going to say this again. You're not going to make the money you think you are going out into the working world. I know it's heartbreaking. It may be a little intense, but this is what you have to figure out. This is what you have to figure out. Am I learning, and am I going to get certifications at this job? Because sometimes it's not the money, it's the certifications, it's the experience. Here's another big one I'm going to tell young black men. Enjoy the experience. It's not always the destination, it's the journey. What did you learn from that journey? There are so many things I can put in my resume right now, and I actually do. In 1 year, my resume went from 1 to 2 pages to 5. It's not always the destination, it's the journey. Even if I don't make as much money with my security firm, have I had the ability to hire 20 people, balance money, balance pay, negotiate contracts with vendors and clients? Yes. Train people? Yes. For a lot of you who want to get into law enforcement, the fire department, or in any of the federal agencies, go to FEMA and take some of them courses for FEMA. Do you know how many courses on FEMA alone that are required for even some law enforcement and, emergency medical and fire departments? And these classes are free and they're online. I'm dropping game. Dropping game, folks. Dropping game. Get some of these FEMA classes, like the CBRNE Standardized Awareness Training Program. Get that. Corporate security. What's up, Bishop Mac Bones? What's up? There's a lot of training out there you could do online, and now there's some classes that you go for free. The best, do you know how much money and how many opportunities I'll make when my boy Josh finishes his cybersecurity certifications? Imagine going up to a client and said, I can protect you both physically and cyber. Where do you think that will put me over a lot of other people or the company? Remember when I said your network? If your network's not growing with you, you need to find another goddamn network. Everything becomes a circular conversation when Charles L. Faulkner Jr. speaks. Take advantage of some of this stuff, man. Go get your EMT. If you got special police or armed security, get that certification quick. Because let's say you got another hustle, you're going to college, you always got money coming in. Security in the planet is going to quadruple in revenue in the next 2 to 3 years. It's been projected to quadruple because of the state of the world. Think about it. When I started with Baltimore Police, the starting salary was $38,000. Now it's $60,000. Why aren't we taking these jobs, young men? Cadets. All you need is your license. Cadet. 18 to 20. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Some of you need to take advantage of the military. Get a tutor. Here's the cheat code, right? I need a woo from everybody in the chat. If you want me to tell you one of the biggest cheat codes in life, okay, for young black men. I need some woos. Need a couple of cash apps, super chats if you got it. I'm going to tell you a cheat code for a lot of these young men. Oh, no woos? Then I ain't saying shit. Nobody don't want to hear this shit. You need a couple of woos in that chat, man. No participation from anybody? For shame. For shame. There we go. We got one. Got one. Here's one of the cheat codes for young black men 16 to 25. National Guard. You go to the National Guard. Number one, let's back up for a second. Let's back up even further than that. Oh, you driving the semi now? I know you would have said the woo, man. Number one, take whatever little pennies and what little change or whatever you can exchange for services, get you a tutor. Go to the smartest motherfucker in class in school, pay them, protect them, speak to them, befriend them. If they're smart in math and they're a little nerdy, guess what? Game them up. If somebody, no, you protect that motherfucker. And that's your new best friend. Have them tutor you in math. Have someone tutor you when it comes to English comprehension and writing. Two of your best friends in high school should be your English teacher and your mathematics teachers, because that's what the ASVAB usually kicks the shit out of you on. A lot of people don't even know the difference of when it comes to definitions, a lot of similes, how to write a proper sentence and report, a subject and a predicate. You get tutoring for about 6 months to a year. Still be friends with that person. Don't be disingenuous. If the person's giving you a skill, give them a skill back. Always pay it forward. Always be a good friend. That's another thing you need to do, but we're going to get into that. Go take the ASVAB, score as high as you can, especially for National Guard. Once you go to National Guard basic training, come back to your unit, go to college, enroll into into ROTC. The military will pay for that college. And after you graduate, commission you as a second lieutenant, as an officer. Let's say you do 4 or 5 years. You come out 27. Let's say if you graduate 21, 26 years old. What's up, Macho Picchu? You're probably cussing me out right now while I'm not paying him any attention. My damn cat. You go up there, you're getting free education. You do 3 to 4 years. And boom, 26 years old with 4 years of work experience in a leadership position. No debt. And then most likely that friend who's pretty good at math, you stay tight with them because there's certain things you need to be loyal to. You need to be loyal to good people. You need to be loyal to good, useful people. If they treat you well, you treat them just as well, if not slightly better. Because if you get somewhere, you better, and I'm going to say this to you again, you better be able to reach the fuck back. For those who stuck their neck out for you, you should be able to do the same shit for them. I'm going to tell you now, I cannot stand a disloyal man. If you're not loyal to your people, I know you'll be disloyal to me. You feel me? A lot of you young boys right now, here's the second part. Get your license. Go apply for the cadet program. For your local police departments. Learn the inner rub elbows and learn the inner workings of a police department. Go to your fire departments. Get your EMT for free. Get paid to do it. Get some experience under your belt. Hell, even get your paramedic. Your paramedic is an associate's, by the way. Sub Sergeant Major Roger. Airborne, airborne. My man Calvin said, I want to be an airborne ranger, live the life of sex and danger. There are so many opportunities for young black men. Go to the community college. Get your goddamn EMT. Do you know there's so many jobs I'm looking that the federal giving contracts for special police officers and EMT? And if you have both, I mean, really. Really. Here's something else I'm gonna tell young black boys from 16 to 25. Okay? I'm gonna keep you D. Have some goddamn integrity. Be honest. Treat people like you want to treat them. Give people fairness. Stop trying to hustle everybody. Stop trying to hustle everybody. Be an honest man. If you say you're going to be somewhere, be on time. If you say you're going to do something for somebody, do it. You'll learn how to be very careful with your words. You learn how to be very careful. You want people to actually look at you as a man of honor. I know that's something very, very foreign to a lot of people in our community. Being a person or man of honor. Somebody that people can say, I'm going to shake your hand because I know from experience, whatever you say you're going to do, it's already done. It's considered already done. Get out of this, I want to hustle somebody shit. Get out of that mentality. What happened to an honest day's work? What happened to being an honorable man? When you get out the military, they give you a DD 214. And what do you want it to say? Honorable discharge. Honorable. You serve with honor, dignity, and respect. People can look up to you. A person just needs your word. Whatever happened to that? Being accountable, taking responsibility. See, we got away from, I want to learn leadership qualities. If you want to be a leader, then you got to be a great follower first. You got to take on some responsibility, little by little. And I'm going to say this to every single mother with a son who's going to listen now or later. You need to start putting your boys in positions of authority, even in the household. Have him make a decision. Decide what we're going to eat for dinner. Train him to decide what we're going to go for the weekend. Show him how to take responsibility. How to not only do chores around the house, but if he has others in the house helping him, how to disseminate, how to be fair and just. Show him how to balance the bills of the house. And I pray to God that you gave him an excellent father if you and the father are not together. Show him how the real world works. Make him accountable. Make him responsible. He gets a little job. Okay, you're going to pay this bill. And what you should do, you should pay it on your own and save his money. So when he graduates and has to go to school, he has some money in his backing. Hello. Show him to be reliable. And yes, public speaking skills are valuable. Young black men, I could not tell you how many times I can hear somebody in your age bracket can be loud as hell on the street, but when it's ready to speak to people in a crowd, they clam up. They freeze. Go to like old wrestling promos with Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. Notice how they can speak. And they gotta always get it right because they're on live television. There's no retakes. Learn how to articulate yourself. That's why many of you young men need to stop texting and speaking in so much damn slang all the time. Learn how to enunciate. Learn how to use different words and program them into your vocabulary. Yes, sometimes you got to speak the language of the street, but not in the realm of business. Not in the realm. And that's another one, Mike Johnston. Admitting mistakes. Asking, there's nothing wrong, young men, for asking for help. Bravado can only get you so goddamn far. Boy, do I know. Bravado can only get you so damn far. You're right, Calvin. Pride comes before the fall. Bravado can only get you so far. Learn. Here's another thing that I know that you need to jump out of your bravado to do. You know what that is, folks? Get a goddamn mentor. I'm going to say it again. Get a goddamn mentor. If you got a father, you got one, but get one more. Get a goddamn mentor, especially in the field of work that you want to obtain. Stop thinking that I could just will myself into certain positions. The ultimate thing in the black community is we don't have such good networking with brothers. We just don't. Right? Once again, Calvin, each one teach one, and so on. We are not only to ourselves. We need to be able to build strong mentorships and networks. Otherwise, we're going to fall apart. We're going to fall apart. And that's another thing. I'm glad you said that on both Mike and Calvin. Delayed, develop delayed gratification. Stop looking for instant gratification. Stop looking for instant glory. You're not going to really get it. Very few times I've seen police officers do heroic stuff and they're rewarded immediately. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. Instead of saying, I need to do good work, I need to become a better man, I need to do what needs to be done because if I don't do it, people can die. We got away from that, man. Do your job because you like your job. And if you don't like it, do it because it needs to be done. And yes, get a trade, teach your trade to the next one. Remember what I said earlier about befriending smart people to help you and tutor you? You come back and you train them in something that you're good at. Maybe that person's not that athletic. Maybe you can teach them how to be athletic. Maybe they don't have the confidence to speak to the other sex. Maybe you teach them and instill confidence in them. But guess what? You'll feel better about yourself because you helped a fellow friend, a fellow human being, and you made a friend. Sometimes you have to be bigger than your goddamn self. That's part of being a man. Part of being a man is I got to do it because it has to be done. I got to be bigger than what the situation gives me. I have to be developed in such a way that when times are stressful or dangerous, people will come to you, and boy, will they come to you for your leadership. But y'all don't hear me, though. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Anybody want to come on the panel, or I'm going to just end it for now? We're going to do a part two. Trust me. We are definitely going to do a part two. Because part two is going to be dress for the position you want, dress for success. But till then, I'm out of here.